here comes hero Nardein again, ready to get birded off. I just pulled out the standing blade to scare him. Wallahi, yeah, I cannot remember the knife connecting with him. I just remember running after him. That was it.
You've been to prison for how long in total?
In the last 17 and a half years, I've been out 3.5 years, so 14 years. I went to prison for GBH on her. I stabbed her.
Did you ever think you'd actually go prison?
No, I was a child. I was 13. I grew up in prison, so really, you gotta think it. At 13, you start finding your personality, what you are. I was having officers teach me the way, not my family, because I was in prison. What I learned, a product of your environment, was if you don't listen to us, we're gonna bend you up, we're gonna stick you in your room. What hope did I have, really?
You've seen how the Bluetick Show has been put on the map, the world's fastest growing show. Let's put your brand on the map. The Bluetick Show is now doing over 1 million views a month. Your business could be seen by an extra 1 million people every single month. Get in touch now to advertise your business. info@thebluetickshow.com. If you're looking for brand awareness, message us now. Let's do something together. Limited space available, so get in touch as soon as possible. Be in touch. One of the team will get back to you. Let's see how quickly we can get your brand to #1. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Bluetick Show. Opposite me today, we've got a very special guest, Nardein Murrihy. Last 17 years, she spent 3 outside. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, Mikey.
You sit there, smile on your face, been out 9 weeks.
Yeah.
How's it been, firstly?
Overwhelming. It's a lot to adjust to because of going away for a long time this time. It's just a lot different, like coming out. Everything costs so much as well.
You're telling me. Life is expensive. Look, we sit here, we both got smiles on our face. You're a beautiful girl. People You're welcome. I got to say, it's part of my script. But no one actually understands the life you've had. We probably sit there, look at you and don't think half of what's happened has happened.
Yeah.
You've been to prison for how long in total?
In the last 17 and a half years, I've been out 3.5 years, so 14 years.
You spent 14 years behind a bar.
Yeah.
It's a long time. It's
Very
a
long
time. But before we dive into that, let's talk about your upbringing a little bit. Where are you from? What was your childhood like?
So I was born in Kidderminster, in Worcestershire, and then it was a bit manic. I come from an Irish family, so it's like they're wild, they're mad, but they've got good hearts, good morals, good values. But yeah, they chaos.
Go on, tell us a little bit about the chaos.
My granddad is really like humble, but my nan is like the mad one. And there's so many females. There's like our generation. There's loads of females. Like I had one uncle, he passed away in 2021. And then there's 4 girls, and then they all had girls. My mum's got 4 girls, yeah.
So the girls definitely wear the trousers in that side of the family, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. That poor granddad. That poor man.
He just puts up with it. He's just like, oh,
he's got no choice. He's got no choice. He's kind of just got to go with it.
Nah, he's good, man. My granddad is like, I'm his double though. There's a picture of us together, and we're both laughing, and yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I've even got my granddad's hands. Like, it's weird, man.
What?
Yeah. I have. Like, without my nails, obviously I was born with no nails.
Obviously.
These are stiff hands, they're not right. But my hands, I've got proper, like, my granddad's hands. It's weird.
Weird, very weird. But what was it like? School? What was school like for you?
I love school. Because there was a lot going on at home, I'm not going to deny that. There was, like, domestic violence, whatever. But school was, like, my escape. I loved it. Yeah, I did love going to school, and then I had like a friendship circle, and then it kind of like fell apart. Yeah, and then this girl, she was in our friendship circle, but I think because me and one of the other girls got so close, she didn't like it, and she used to like pick on me and whatever. And then I used to go home and cry, and my big sister, Jolene, and my mum used to be like, yeah, come on, crying again. And
was you soft as a kid?
I think initially, yeah. I did see violence. I seen them things, but I thought I'd never be like my family in that sense. But I kind of turned out a bit worse than them.
Do you know what it is? They say the family is what makes the kid, right?
Yeah.
What you surround yourself is. You're a product of your environment.
You're a product. We'll go on to that when we talk about the secure training centres. But I believe 100%. I believe that no one can ever say that I haven't got good morals and values, but I believe I used to take it too far. Like my mum would say, if someone hits you, hit them back, but I'd go a bit further than just smacking them one back. Yeah.
So tell us about that girl.
So she used to pick on me, and then my granddad's sister, she don't swear on nothing, she basically went into the school. The school wasn't doing nothing about it. I think because of, like, all of my cousins, my mum went to that school. Like, they got married in the church. My nan and granddad, like, it was a proper...
Everyone knew your family.
Yeah, everyone. And I think they kind of just thought, oh, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
She can deal with it.
And then my auntie went in and was like, we're not having this, like, it's getting too bad. And then basically they wouldn't do nothing. So my mum told me, stick up for yourself, hit her back. And
how did you feel when you was told that? Was you okay doing it? Was you scared doing
myself.
it? Okay.
Well, she would have battered me.
So what happened?
So I ended up hitting her back on the playground, and I think it gave me, like, you know, because I hit her back, and it was like, what are you gonna do now? It was like, Well, now I can stick up for myself, but because I've never been put in, I've had obviously 4 girls in one house. Yeah. We used to scrap between ourselves, but scrapping out there is a bit different to your sister hitting you. Do you know
what it is? Your sister, in your head, you know she's never gonna hurt you.
Oh no! No,
listen, I get it.
My sister,
I understand. No. Yeah, but you know she ain't gonna actually really like smash you up. Or maybe she is. I don't know what goes on in your household.
Mikey, yeah.
Was it swingers? Yeah.
Yeah, like, but I think it was because I don't know. Like, you don't, as kids, you don't know how far you're going. Yeah. Do you get it? And we did used to fight. Like me and my eldest sister. Even to this day, we get on the most. Me and Jolene, and then Maggie and Roisin, the middle ones. It's like Roisin would do something to me, so I'd do something to her. Then Maggie would get involved, and then Jolene would hit Maggie. Yeah. It was like, But it was good having there's 4 of us. I
get that. But then being told to go out and hit a stranger or a friend in school,
it was scary.
It's something different.
Yeah, it was. And then I ended up getting kicked out of school, and then my mum went mad.
Well, you got kicked out for that one incident?
It happened again.
Okay.
But this time, I think it gave me a bit of a boost, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you bullied me, now I'm going to pick on you. And then her mum went in the school the one day, and her and her sister was in the back of the mum's car, like, sticking her fingers up. So I just opened the car door and dragged her out by her hair,
At what age?
Well, the school only goes up to 11, so what?
What, this is primary school?
Yeah, this was primary school, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, you was on smoke, you was ready.
No, and I wasn't on... do you know what? I'm actually a nice person.
I can see
but
it.
I feel like... You know when you're backed into a corner, it's like, and then it's like, you made my life hell for that little period of time. And as a kid, like saying, you got no nails, like that's a dick. Now I laugh at it. I think, bro, like, I don't have to like pay £20 to get my nails done. I just get stick-ons. But it's like, at that age, you just like, why are you doing that? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. And do you know what it is as well? Like you said, when she was bullying you, you might have been scared, but once you overcome that first bit,
yeah,
that's it. Now, but that's when it probably unleashed a different side of you. You never knew was there.
Yeah.
Because you've seen loads of videos where it's the bully, then the guy stands up and the bully shits himself.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
She just melted.
I feel like she melted a little bit, but then I feel like when I dragged her out of her mum's car, I think she was like,
yo, this is too much. What's going on?
This is way too much. And then I got kicked out of the school, and then I think it was like, is it suspension?
Yeah, so you're suspended.
Yeah, so I got suspended, and then I went back, and then everything was all right, and then obviously I moved on to another school.
You went to secondary school?
Yeah.
What was secondary school? Because now you're the smallest one in a big school.
Yeah.
Did you have a point to prove?
I wouldn't say I had a point to prove, because like where Kidderminster is like everyone knows everyone, so everyone knew my family anyway. Fair enough. It wasn't really a point to prove in that sense. I feel like, so the Catholic school stopped at year 6, and then the high school, but I couldn't go to the high school because my 2 older sisters got kicked out of there, and me and my other sister Roisin had to go to Zion Hill.
What, they didn't let you in the school?
No. So
Okay.
Yeah. My sisters was a bit,
mad.
They went to live with my dad, and Yeah, they was reckless. But and then when I went to the Church of England school, it started at year 5, the middle school. So I started at year 7 because I'd left the Catholic school. So I started halfway through. So obviously I came and there was like people that I already knew from obviously through my family. So I was okay. And I always
just fit right in kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of thing. And then there was one girl and we used to just argue, man. Like I think it was just, you know, like petty stuff. And then, yeah, like it just escalated. It just escalated into something. Now, when you look back, you think, oh, it was... But it went further. Obviously, we'll go on to that. But it went further. And now it's like everything's cool. Everything's like... She's had kids. Everything's moved on. But, yeah, that kind of thing, it's like... It wasn't that deep.
What did it escalate to?
I went to prison for GBH on her. I stabbed her. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it went... I'm not in the school. This was years later, but yeah.
You had this beef with her for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. She's not a person, like, you have to rate her, yeah? She's not a person that's going to back down. Like, if you're going to hit her, or you're walking towards her...
She's coming for you back.
Yeah, and you can't expect someone to back down. Do you get what I mean?
Definitely. You can't ever go into a fight expecting
the reason why... I stabbed her. It didn't even have nothing to do with me, but I was there. It involved my sister and one of an associates, let's say.
Talk us through the day. What happened that day?
So...
Was this the first time you were in prison?
No.
When was the first time you were in prison?
Just before my 14th birthday. So when I was in middle school,
14?
I started... Yeah. I started... like truanting and whatever, but when I was 13 and I went to Zion Hill, my friend, like my mum and her mum's best friends, we grew up together. She was really poorly. She was really ill. And they said like she's not gonna live long, and I used to go to Birmingham Children's Hospital, and you know, like little memories, like she never used to have no for Chris apart from Walker's roast chicken in the drawer. And, like we'd sit on a bed together, then like the nurses always knew me because I'd get her in a wheelchair, run around, and like, you know, like just she still lived a good life. Like me and her brother Danny made sure, like we'd, you know, like not do a run. She couldn't run because obviously of her chest.
So you had to push her.
No, so I'd pick her up on my back, we'd be running like on the estate. Yeah, we was like the Three Musketeers. Like it was.
Was she your best friend?
Yeah, she was my first ever best friend. Yeah.
Before we dive into when you were in prison, how did it feel when she passed away?
It broke me.
Because you was 13.
Yeah, it broke me. I feel like, yeah. Obviously, my dad wasn't in my life, so it's like a loss, yeah. But it's like that's reality in life. Yeah. But when you lose a friend, and it's like, you know, when they say, "Oh, they take the good young." Obviously, I'm not the good because they ain't took me young. But I feel like she was a good soul. Do you get what I mean? So for her to pass, it destroyed me. Yeah.
At that age as well, being your best friend, it must have hurt.
And I think, you know, the effect that it had on her family, and it wiped not wiped everyone out, but like, I don't know, I couldn't deal with them emotions, and my family was always like, you know, when you're crying as a kid, yeah, it was like,
stop crying, shut up, kind of thing.
What the fuck are you crying for? Do you want me to give you something to cry for? But obviously this situation was different, but by this age I've already learned, why are you crying? This is life. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So it wasn't, I just kind of got on with it, but I dealt with it in the wrong way. You had
to snap out of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You said you dealt with it in the wrong way. What do you mean?
I just started drinking. Obviously, my mum and my stepdad still married to this day, but there was things going on at home, and I was running away. I just turned into a problem, and then I went to stay at my nan and granddad's. I love my nan and granddad. I can't lie. You'd love them too much. they're like chalk and cheese, yeah. But they say yin and yang. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It matches, and like they're old now, but yeah, they're like they suit. But I went to live with them, and I remember, yeah, this was before I got kicked out of school, but I remember I was bunking off, whatever. And then they, like, my nan and granddad, listen, you never brought police to the door. Yeah. You never, like, I knew, adults knew to swear. We knew not to swear. Like, it was very, like...
Don't fuck about.
Yeah, but there was so much love. But they've never put their hand on me. So I don't know, like...
I think it's because they're a lot older as well. You respect them a lot more. This video is sponsored by Cranbrook Law, an award-winning immigration law firm. Their talented solicitors can help any struggles arise regarding immigration law, they can help get you the visas they need. They can help get you the staff you need from any other countries. As you can see, the website is on the screen right now. So if you need anything to do with immigration law, message Cranbrook Law and let them help you. Whether you're looking to obtain a sponsor license, receive advice and guidance in relation to compliance and our civil penalties, or take advantage of our know-how and experience across a broad range of business visas, our talented and dynamic immigration lawyers are available to speak to you. Telephone numbers on the screen, emails on the screen, and hit the link in the bio if you need any help.
Yeah, but my mum used to, like, if I misbehave, I'm not going to lie, I used to.
Yeah, same.
But my nan and granddad, I wouldn't say I had more respect because that's a liberty, but even to this day, I've got so much respect for them that it is a bit weird. But yeah, so obviously they went to Ireland and something happened. Someone came to stay at my nan and granddad's house to look after the house, and I ended up suffering abuse. And
from this person who comes to stay? Yeah,
to look after the house, and basically from that point I hated the world. Yeah, I'm not smiling because I'm smiling because I'm just thinking I allowed this person to have so much control over my life for so long, and I hadn't. Like, when you go to prison, they're like, oh, you need to talk about it. You think, I ain't talking about it with you lot. And for years, it was hid. It was hid. No one spoke about it.
Did the family know?
No.
Who did you tell first? Or when did you tell them?
So it happened in 2007, and 2014, I'll come out about it.
Wow.
Yeah. But there's an anniversary, and every anniversary I kept getting upset and whatever, and I was in prison, and I'll never forget the officer. Yeah, she was my key worker. Now I think she's like a CM or something, but Miss Sheldon, and she was like, I was that lively one on the wing, got ADHD, young, mental, and I was in my room and I wouldn't come out, and I was upset, and some of the girls went to the office and like, you lot need to check on Nardein, like something's not right. And then she come to me and she's like, you can talk to me, and I was like, no, but I did have a good like rapport with this officer. Anyway, then she was like, Nardein, I can't leave you like this. I can't go off shift knowing that you're like this. Like, what the hell? What's going on? And I ended up telling her. And she was like, I got you. Yeah, I need to say something. I said, no, you're not. I said, you can't. Like, I've told you out of confidence. And then she had to say something. And do you know what? Now I'm grateful she said something. Like, at the time, I thought, you bitch. Like, you went against me. But now I'm grateful because it brought so much more to light. It's not my place to say because obviously I'm here to talk about me, but it happened to other people. And to see that the trauma still affects people to this day, but you can't say nothing because if you say something, social services is going to say, well, you're going through this, you've got kids, like how, do you know what I mean? It escalates. So to see how it still affects people is sad, man. But yeah, so he was on bail for quite a few years, and it destroyed me. I hated the police even more. I thought, like,
did he get charged in the end?
He got 10 years.
Good.
Yeah, he got 10 liberty. Yeah,
God.
But I got sent down in 2016. And there was this new rule that serious violence or sexual offences, you go to prison. You go to prison for a third of your sentence.
Yeah, I heard it.
So obviously, the first
2/3, no, or a third.
A third.
It was 2/3.
2/3, yeah.
You do 70% instead of like
yeah. And my friend, you might know my friend, Man-Made Hype. He fights for IPP, Man-Made Hype.
I might do.
So we was in prison, and I had to go up to the video link because he was in court, and I'd just been sentenced, and I was just, my head was all over the place. I was taking whatever, and I'm sat there and I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on? An hour's passed, 2 hours passed, and I'm like, do you know what? Let me go back to the wing and just fucking shout me, because now I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on? Anyway, he didn't turn up to court. That night he got arrested. The police found him, he got arrested. He went to court the next day, got 10 years. in a sense, I was fuming because I'm thinking, you've been on bail, denied it for so long, made us go through even more trauma, and then now you're just going to plead guilty. And then the excuse was, the liberty of the excuse, was...
One second, rewind. I lost you on all of that. So, this isn't man-made hype.
No. So man-made hype come to help me, come to support me.
You lost me there completely. I was thinking, was that cool?
So my friend come with me to support me.
Okay. And you're both sat there thinking, how long? And he didn't even turn up.
So I went back to the wing to get on it.
Okay.
If you want to understand how I thought this is a joke. Anyway, so I was a bit pissed off that he pled guilty, whatever.
Oh, he pled guilty to it, yeah?
When he got arrested, he went to court the next day and pled guilty, and they didn't even do a victim input statement, nothing. They just sentenced him to 10 years, and I was just like, are you winding me? I feel like the sentences for people like that, and they say it's a liberty, take it into consideration. You don't take it into consideration.
And do you know what it is as well? One thing I will say is, with stuff like that, that affects you long term. Yeah,
100. It still affects me to this day.
Of course, that's going to affect you for your whole life. Whereas with a murder, fair enough, it affects the family long term, but that person's no longer in pain. That person isn't suffering. Of course, they've been taken out of this life, and it's wrong, but they're gone. There's no one else suffering. Fair enough, the family's suffering. I get all of that, but what's happened to you? It's not. I'm not saying it justifies what's worse or what, but you're now suffering with it. You've now got to take that on your shoulders for the rest of your life. There's going to be situations which you can't handle because your emotions are too strong. You can't.
I struggle with men.
Of course.
Even to this day. Someone goes, oh, you're pretty. Like, I got stopped in London Bridge when I was in open prison. I was on the phone to someone. And this guy was like, oh, you got such a beautiful smile. And I was like, yeah. And I just walked off. But my friend was like, just say thank you. And I was like, who stopped someone at a train station? Like, it's a bit... But... a normal person would be like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, definitely. That's true.
But I'm a bit more reserved. Like, I feel like, I just feel like, so sometimes it takes a lot for me to warm up to men more than women, unless I know you're on a level and it's definitely. Straight away just a vibe. I'm a bit like,
who you talking to? Don't chat to me.
Please. And it's not me being rude, but it's because of the trauma. It's a trauma response, and people are like, does she think she's nice? And I genuinely don't think I'm nice at all. Like, every woman suffers with insecurities, but I just think if I shut you down and be the way I am, you'll think, I ain't chatting to her.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. But I think a lot of people don't see that as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what you've gone through.
Yeah.
And
it's sad. And this is why I had to do that work on myself, because I just, there's more things that happened once I went to prison. And then it just escalated. It just escalated.
Well, I think that's given the viewers a nice deep dive into what we're about to hear.
Yeah.
So let's throw it all the way back now. First prison sentence. What happened? Why'd you go to prison? Talk us through the day.
So I was in and out of youth court all the time. And they was like, you carry on, you're going to prison. I was thinking, I'm 13. But it was like, after the abuse, it was like, the next few months, it just escalated. And I was ending up in the courts every day, breach of the ASBO, breach of this, breach of that, not sticking to the order. ISSP, for youth offending.
Yeah.
I'd get dropped off there and then get my friend to pick me up. Like, I was gone. I was like, I'm not doing this. Tag, all of that, never completed it. And then I remember being stood in that dock the one day, and my solicitor, shout out Regan Pegs, I love him. Yeah, I'm still friends with him now. But Regan said to me, he's like, you're going to prison today. And I was like, what? And can you remember Bad Girls, yeah? The last scene when the nun was whipping herself. I know my mum shouldn't have let us watch it, yeah? But when they said you're going to prison, I was thinking...
Did you ever think you'd actually go prison?
No, I was 13. I thought, yeah.
You just know.
They're just saying it.
It's like when your mum's at home going, I'm going to phone your dad, kind of thing. You just say, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, she ain't ringing my dad. No, but I get it, yeah. Mine was, I'm telling you, Granddad and I used to be like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen. I genuinely didn't. I think I was just so naive. Like, the police are all right, man.
Yeah, they're calm, man. I'm young. Yeah. I'm a kid, I'm just naughty.
I'm just naughty. And there was a lot of things. I got diagnosed with ADHD.
I wouldn't have guessed.
No, but I got... Yeah, I know. So I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I was just like, I was classed as that naughty kid. There was never, like, you know, now it's like a kid starts misbehaving, they're like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Then it was just like, you're naughty. And in my family, even to this day, my granddad still says, the gobshite. I don't think he calls me Nardein. He's like, the gobshite's here, or do you know what I mean? But it's not. It's a sign of endearment. It's not a sign of like abuse or anything like that. It's like in an Irish family, the gobshite, the Egypt. So, that's what I was.
So you're stood in court.
So I'm stood in court, and they said to me, take it out.
Was there something you actually done, or was it just a build up of being like loads of little shits?
So it was just like common assault on police, breach of this, breach of that.
But it was never actually something mad. It was more just like always getting in trouble, then a build up, yeah?
Yeah.
So what happened? You stood in court, tell us.
And they said I was going to prison.
How long for?
I genuinely can't remember. I think it was like...
Just so you guys know, before we actually started this episode, I asked her, how many times have you gone to prison? Do you know what she said to me? Don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I think because I was in and out from the age of 13 to 16, that many times it was like I'd get out and then they'd say, right, you got to do the orders, and I knew before I left prison, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to. I used to think I ain't done nothing that deep to sit. Obviously, I got kicked out of school, was never allowed back in school, got took away in a riot van at my high school in year 9.
You got took away in a riot van?
Yeah, and they said I wasn't allowed back. Yeah.
What did you do? Yo, wait a minute. We need to slow down. We need to do this. We need to. There's so much going on right now. I don't know where we are. All right, let's go. Let's time schedule it. 13 was the first time you went to prison.
Yeah.
First time proper involved in police, right?
Yeah. Just before my 14th birthday, I went to prison.
Cool. Went to prison for how long? Couple of weeks?
Couple of weeks.
How was it?
Do you know what? Initially, I was petrified. You know when you walk on the wing, and it's like, I was like a kid, and then I wonder what she's in for. Oh my God, you can imagine, like, it's all kids, so the girls are like all amped up. There was girls in there for murder.
Girls in there for murder?
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a couple of girls that I still, like, I love them so much, like Momo from Manchester. Like, I still speak to them now, because it was like a little family. Most of us was in and out. But yeah, I was petrified, and then I come out in the morning. And it was like Butlins. It was like, and I never forget my best friend. We'll go on to this. My second best friend, who was basically killed by the police. But we got really close, and I was literally on a wing, and there was this girl, and obviously because I was tiny, I was short. This girl was like, I'm playing pool next, whatever. I went to take the pool cue off me, so I grabbed it, and she slapped me. So I've hit her with the pool cue. It just escalated, and then my friend. This is how we got so close, me and Shanice. She jumped up and she weren't having it. She's like, what? And then it just escalated, and from then it was like me and Shanice against the world.
Guys, have you been thinking of move to Dubai? I've partnered up with Cranbrook Legal to make your experience so much easier. Literally, I got the main man from Cranbrook Legal right now to tell you how easy it is.
Guys, it's as simple as picking up the phone, giving us a call, and letting us get on with the business.
What, literally, one phone call?
Literally, one phone call, a few documents, and we're there.
And then I just get up, fly to Dubai, and I ain't got to pay tax no more?
Yeah, you can come and see us. We'll take you out for a meal, show you Dubai, and then it's all up to you after that.
Bro, where do I sign now?
Yeah.
Is that Shanice the one who...
Shanice, so Stevie is the one that died when I was 13. Shanice is the one, it was my best friend I met in prison. I went to live with her when I was 16 in London, and then just before I got out of prison when I was 18, she fell from the 17th floor window in Woolwich, and the police was to blame, I say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a podcast on its own. We'll discuss that. We'll dive into that a little bit
We can
more.
have part 2 then.
Yeah, part 2. So, I want to try time scale it so the viewers get an understanding. 13, went to prison, couple of weeks, come out.
Yeah.
Still stayed naughty. Stayed the same.
Made me worse.
Oh, really? Because you knew that
Because
that
there was
the
no
only...
boundaries in prison. Like, young offenders, it's not like you hit someone and you go seg. You hit someone, they're like, you need to come out and apologise. You're like, sorry. And you
hit the next person.
Do you get what I mean? There was no... It was just a madness. Like, it was crazy. Like, it wasn't... You know, now I look at my younger self, or I look at my niece, and I think, I thought I knew the world, and I knew nothing. I actually knew nothing. And I thought, I could take on the world. And then getting restrained by officers in prison. And there's certain officers that didn't really want to even put their hands on you, and I've got so much time for them. But then there were certain officers that
they just think of a shit.
They didn't. PCC. What does that even mean? They're going to a different extreme, like in restraining you, choking you. There was a young lad in Rainsbrook. He got choked when he was getting restrained, and he was saying he can't breathe, and he was being sick, and he actually passed away. And these things. Does anyone do anything about it?
Oh.
You're a kid against a system that is massive. Medway, look at Medway.
And you got to remember, you're a 13-year-old kid. You're a little kid.
And I might have been cheeky. I was a mouthy little kid.
Yeah,
I'm
but
but to suffer the abuse that went on, I just think now I look and I just think I just wanted someone to guide me. I just wanted someone to say, do you know what? Everything's gonna be okay. Here you go.
Yeah.
Not someone to carry on. And it made me, I thought, it kind of made me think, what, I got battered by you? Like, so when I got out of prison, it was worse. It was like a man would say something and I'd be like, oh, fuck off. Because I think, what are you going to do to me? I've just been battered by 5 officers.
Yeah, what's one guy going to do?
Yeah.
I'll punch you up as well, kind of thing. No, but it's true, do you know what I mean, though? But
you do, sometimes you do feel like that. You think it's like, regardless whether inside there's fear. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but it's...
but I'm not going to show that fear because
Yeah.
as soon as I show you I'm scared, you're going to do it even more. Whereas if I stand there and I just go, all right, do your worst, they're going to think,
gosh, she's mad.
is she all right?
Yeah, no, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Like, there's been incidents where, like, you've seen stuff, you've watched videos online, you've seen clips where people say something, someone spikes back, they're like, what are you going to do about it? And the guy's like,
what?
weren't expecting that part. All right.
Especially from a girl, I don't think they expect it.
100%.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So, 13 prison, tick.
Yeah.
Spoke about that. You then spoke about when you got pulled out of year 9 in a riot van.
So it was the same girl again from middle school, and she's like, yeah, we ended up fighting.
Is this the girl you end up stabbing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it just escalated. I was with my sister and her friend. Anyway, then next thing you know, they're like, the police are here. And we're like, what? So I'm running around the school. Like, they've got the walkie-talkies. Anyway, I've got grabbed. I'm going mad, fighting with the police. Because obviously at this point, I'm already known by the police. I don't like them. So I've ended up getting locked up. But then my sister's got arrested as well. Because obviously she's like, get off my sister. And then my sister's friend has also got arrested. So all 3 of us got arrested. Anyway, then the school was like, she ain't coming back.
Yeah,
She's not coming back. And then when I was going to prison, every time I come out, because of my age, I had to be in some sort of like education or whatever. And I only found this out when I went for an appeal on this sentence, when I got my social services records. They wrote to a school in Dudley, because at the time I was in care and I was living in Dudley, Wolverhampton. And they wrote to a school, Holly Hedge, I think it was. I think it was. Oh, yeah. And the letter was in there and it said, we just need to enrol her at this school, but she will never step foot on your premises. I was like, what? Like, I just couldn't believe it when I read it. My friend's laughing, my pad mate, she's pissing herself. I'm saying, listen, I was not that bad. Like, I genuinely wasn't. I was just a class clown and it just escalated. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it.
That's what they said. They were going to just try to enrol you just to get their paperwork done back, kind of thing.
Basically, they had to enrol me for me to go to this vocational centre to a school.
Okay.
So don't worry, she's never come into the school.
We just need her on your books, kind of thing.
To go to this vocational centre. I love the vocational centre though. We learnt how to bricklay, everything. It was more hands-on ADHD.
Probably better.
Stuff.
Probably more fun.
Genuinely was.
So that finished.
Yeah.
We're 14 now.
Yeah. And then I went to Peru.
Peru?
You know, them naughty schools.
Like a unit. We call them units.
That was just a joke.
What's that like?
I know this sounds really bad, and I shouldn't say it, but I remember they was telling my mum that I had to get picked up in the buses. Yeah. But to come out of my estate, you had to go past my friend's school. Yeah, and I'm in this bus, I was like, no, it's not happening. It's not happening.
You didn't do it?
I'm not getting in that bus. Like, obviously, it's like now you just think, oh, me.
Just get in the bus. Who gives a shit?
So, so they sorted out that I could get a lift to the school and that. And I used to get the taxi driver to stop at the McDonald's at the bottom of the hill before we got to the top and get breakfast and whatever. And then I'd get there. And there was this rule, I'll never forget, obviously, most of us kids smoked.
Yeah.
And it was like, you could have a fag at lunchtime, but at break time, you're not allowed to smoke in that area, And I remember the one day we were out there and I was smoking a fag and the head teacher come out. And I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I laugh because I just think, oh, how stupid. And he come out and he tried to take the fag out of my hand, telling me I couldn't smoke it. So I ended up getting locked up for it. And
What'd you do?
I think I just punched. I don't think I did nothing major. Like, he just went to take the fag and I've hit him.
You got locked up for it?
Yeah, so, yeah.
It was a bit extreme up there.
I know. Yeah.
All right, so you come out. How long? Was that like nothing?
No, so I didn't go to
cell?
prison for that. I got locked up by the police, and then I probably got another order. I don't know how many orders I've had, Mikey, to be fair, but I got another order, and I had this. I've had a few probation officers, but I had there was Janet, Debbie. And Debbie was lovely. Janet was an older woman, so we didn't really connect or anything. But she was my sister's yacht worker and that, so she knew the family. And then we went to court. I remember this once, and I just said, I'm not going to the school. I'm not going. So then they started the ISSP, where you had to do 50 hours of vocational work,
of something.
Substance misuse, all of this. And I was like, I smoke weed and I drink. I don't really take drugs. And I remember my mum.
I smoke weed and I drink. I don't take drugs. Right?
No, but you know, like,
you heard that here first on the Bluetick Show. I smoke weed and I drink, but I don't do drugs.
No, but you know when you see so much drugs around you,
I get
like
it.
Cocaine, heroin, crack. You see it within the towns and that. You think,
I'm not one of them crackheads.
And do you know what? It's sad to say, but that's exactly what I thought.
Listen, that's what everyone
at the time, I was a kid and I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. So I didn't used to do it. I just refused to do it. The tag would go on and I'd cut it off. And then my mum would ring me and be like, I've had enough. And do you know what? I feel so sorry for my mum, because I think I got to a point where even she'd be like, I'm calling the police. I'm like, okay. And it's sad, like, because I just think, I put us through so much, Mikey, man. Like, and I remember the once year, when you're a kid and you go to the police station, and you have to have an appropriate adult. Yeah. I remember the one time, I'm sat there and this stranger walked in, and I was like, who is this? And they was like, I'm your appropriate adult. I went, yeah, my mum's coming. They went, she ain't. My mum literally was like,
I'm not going.
And to be fair, she was getting called up at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I think I caused her so much stress, and my whole family. I think they got to a point where they was that worried about me, but they couldn't do nothing. So
you
it
wasn't.
wasn't.
To no one.
It wasn't that they abandoned me. It wasn't that at all. I think they was just like, do you know what? What else can I do? But from the outside world, it's like, oh, they give up on it. They didn't. They just didn't know what to do. Yeah. And the thing is, if my mum would have belted me at that age, what would have happened? She would have got locked up herself. So even now, kids are not going to school. As soon as the parent grabs them and drags them to the school, the social services are getting called.
So you know what? I think that's how it should be. It should go back to the good old days where your mum can slap you and...
Right, this is our debate now that we was on about, but I believe... a slap is all right.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying punch you up. No, there's limits to it, but it should be...
I feel like now, people ain't gotten... My mum said, when she was younger, if the police knocked on your mum and dad's door, there was hell to pay. When the police used to say, I'm going to... I used to think, all right.
Go crack on, bro.
Go to my mum's and probably tell you to do one and all. But I think when it got to that extent, my mum had to, like, just make me learn.
Do you know what it is as well? It's either she gets involved and puts herself through 100 times more stress, or she hopes you learn yourself. Yeah. Clearly, it took a lot. I was about to say, clearly it took way too much for you to learn. Yeah. But you had to do it. It was part of your journey.
And I feel like, do you know what? Like, I feel like that journey that I went on was paramount to be where I am today.
Listen, everyone's journey's their journey. And you know what it is? I say to everyone who's on here, some people are, I regret it. Others people are, I don't regret it. It's, I've done X, Y, and Z. But yeah, that's your journey, bro. Do you?
Yeah.
I can't judge you.
But there's so many people out there, Mikey, that judge.
Of course, of course.
Do you know when I meet people and they go, oh, so, yeah. And I have to say to them, nah, I've never done that. I've been in prison for most of my life. And they're like, what? And then I tell them how long I've done. They're like, what? Like, I think it's so... For a woman, for a man, it's more acceptable. You got to think here, a woman is meant to carry herself in a certain way. She's not meant to be out there fighting and stuff like that. You call your bloke to do that, or you call your uncle or brothers or whatever. But so I think society has made it. That's why women get longer sentences than men, because it's like, well, a man,
shouldn't be doing that kind of thing.
But as a woman, you should know better. You should not be doing that. Like, you should conduct yourself in a certain way. But it was women that read my family, so.
You knew no better. That's what you knew. It's what you like we would say, product of your environment.
Yeah.
So as you got older, obviously prison got a bit more real.
Yeah.
You was going to
Rainsbrook, Oak Hill, Medway, Vinnie Green Secure Unit, and it just escalated.
So when did you get arrested for the GBH?
When I was 16.
That was your first proper sentence.
Yeah.
What was that like? What happened? What happened?
So at the time, IPP was in, and I remember Regan being stood up in court, and they was ready to give me that sentence, and because of like being a persistent young offender, and my solicitor was like, "This is out of character. Like, my client's never used a weapon in her life. There's history with this girl from school. Like, this dates back years and years and years, and by the skin of my teeth, I didn't get IPP, and." Now I think we could all look at if that happened, but now I sit there and I think, imagine if I got IPP'd, I probably wouldn't have never got out. There's still people now in there 10, 15, 20 years later still stuck in there.
What happened with this situation?
So I got 4 years.
No. Why did you? What did you do?
So I was living in London at the time. I came back to visit for the weekend, and my sister was like, oh, there's this drum and bass thing. And it was in a pub where we grew up, like as kids, like Paddy's parties. Obviously, I'm a Wolves supporter, so we watch all the Wolves games there. I know you're looking at me like, Wolves.
I'll be real, I don't really follow football too much.
Don't tell me that if I did, I'd support Arsenal.
Yeah, that's the truth, yeah. It is. Sorry, yeah. Ugh. Sorry.
Why does everyone support Arsenal these days?
North London, innit? What do you always say?
Yeah, but you don't live in North London now.
Tell me what happened. I did live in North London. I was born and raised in North.
Yeah, so I went there, and then I was with my friend at the time, and my sister, and it was packed, whatever. Anyway, then this girl's turned up, and then everyone disappeared. Like, I'm dancing, everyone's disappeared, and then I've looked.
And everyone still knows you've got conflict with this girl.
Yeah.
Like it's knowledge. Everyone knows that.
Knowledge, yeah. And then.
And she's a bit naughty herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the time. And then I've gone outside, and it was just mayhem. Like, there's just girls on top of girls and whatever. And my sister was involved. And then I've tried to intervene, and then I've seen this girl, and I thought, nah, now I'm gonna shit her up. And genuinely, that's what I thought. But obviously, the girl being a girl, when I've come round the corner with the knife that I've went and got, she's ran towards me. Like, everyone else is scattered. Like, she's got a knife, and she ran towards me.
Oh, she could see. Everyone could see you had a knife.
Yeah, it was glistening. It was a big kitchen knife.
And she just ran towards you.
Yeah,
didn't give a shit.
She had drink and that in her as well, and I think she probably. Well, I didn't think I was going to use it, if I'm quite honest. But yeah, she went to punch me, and I just one blow to her arm, and like now I sit there and I think she had to have major surgery and that, and. Yeah, like, you gotta think, it's not like, at first I was like, you hit my sister, what did you expect? We've got history, and I justified everything that I'd done, and now I sit there and I think, a bit too far, weren't it?
When you went to, did you get nicked instantly?
No, I went on my toes.
How long for?
They went to my sister's and arrested my sister, and I was like, I'm not handing myself in until I know what's been said. And at the time, I remember that night, I was just having so many phone calls. Everyone was saying she was dead. And I was just like, what? I was like, oh, you know, you sit there after and you think,
what have I fucking done?
What have I done? Like, and it was like that impulse, that madness. And then you'd sit there and you think, yeah, but she deserved it. I don't give a fuck. I'll go to jail for life. And then now I'm older, I think, like, you're so dumb. Like, what? To go and get a knife to scare someone with no intention at that point to use it, and then ending up using it. What if she died?
Yeah.
What if she died?
You wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. And then I ended up, so my solicitor said to me, look, you need to hand yourself in. And one of my nieces was 4 at the time, and the police kept going to my family's house. I wouldn't say raiding it, but we need to look for Nardein. And I just thought, I need to hand myself in. And then I handed myself in, and at first I was like, yeah, we're arresting you on the suspicion of attempted murder. And I was like, what?
Attempted murder?
Yeah, and then I think it was because I went and got the knife. And where the CCTV there was a ball camera.
Yeah.
Where the CCTV cut off was the house that I got it from. And then you see me running up the road with this. I didn't have it in a pocket and was like, coming around the corner. I had alcohol in me, and and then when I got charged, and they was like, they charged me with GBH with intent, and I was like, but I didn't intend to, and I still wanted to get it dropped to section 20. I'm not gonna lie, but my solicitor was like, you need to count your blessings.
So you've gone in there, you've gone to a trial. Did you plead guilty?
Yeah.
You pleaded guilty, yeah?
Yeah, I think I did. It was so long ago, man. I was 16. I was like 14 years ago. But I think I pled guilty. Yeah, I did, because I got time off.
And how long did you get for that?
I got 4 years, and then because I got out and I wouldn't go to the approved... Well, I went to the approved premises and then just fucked off. They extended my thing. So I was meant to come off licence October 2014, and I came off August 2015.
So you've done 4 years behind the door, or done 2?
With the break in between, 3 months in between.
What was real prison like for you? Because let's not get it twisted. That is serious prison.
So when I went, I remember, so I went when I was 16, and then I just turned 17, and I got restrained in Rainsbrook STC, and I seriously hurt an officer. And I didn't grab her, but like when I was getting restrained, I've kicked her, and I broke her ribs. And when you used to get remanded after your 17th, there was 17-year-old wings for girls. Okay. So there was Downview, Eastwood Park, Newhall. I think that was all 3. Yeah, I think there was only 3. And they sent me to Newhall, but at the time, Shanice, my friend, was on recall, and she was at Newhall because there was no spaces. So I was like, yeah, we spend Christmas together.
This is a touch.
And then I go Eastwood Park, you go Downview for local release. This is calm. But yeah, I was like, oh, it's a couple of years, I can do a couple of years. So I didn't have that time to change, because it was like, let's just piss about, everything's a joke. Like, not taking life too seriously. And then I remember going to Eastwood Park, and juvenile wings again. And then on my 18th birthday, they moved me over to the main side. But because the prison where it is, Eastwood Park, it's in Gloucester, so if you live on one side of the area, you go to Foston, or if you live on one side, you go to Eastwood Park. So there was a lot of adults in there that knew my family. Yeah. But I was just like, the wings was massive. I was like, this is more fun. Like, now I think, like, this is fun. You're locked away. You ain't got your freedom. You can't eat what you want. This is fun. No, it's not.
This is
like,
shit.
Yeah, but I think it took. Yeah, I think I was just on that, like.
So let me ask you a question. You've been out now.
Yeah.
How long have you been out total now?
9 weeks.
So you've been out 9 weeks. When you used to come out of this, 4-year stretch, right now you're in a good place.
Yeah.
You're positive, you're buzzing, you're saying, I'm not going back to how I was.
Yeah, no way.
I'm not doing none of that. Have you been in this position before?
No.
So when you was coming out before,
Listen, I used to get released, and I used to make sure there's drink there, weed
for
there,
real?
let's party. AP, yeah, I'm coming to drop my stuff, and then I'm going. And I'm not going to lie, I used to just go back pissed. And then when I knew that they're going to recall me, I used to get on my toes. I used to be like, I ain't staying, and go raving for months.
Oh,
that
so
was, I've never been in a position where I don't drink. Obviously now I'm in recovery, but I had a relapse when I was in open, and I'm glad that it happened when I was in open, because the thing is, I can tell them now. They know about it. But obviously they didn't know that I had a relapse when I was in open. The officers, I would have lost my open and everything. But I had that relapse and I feel like it needed to happen, because if I would have had the relapse outside once I'd got released, it would have messed me up. Do you know what I mean? And I had to come out and I had to go to meetings and I had to be honest and say, listen, this is what's happened. But the thing was, I never woke up and needed a drink. But when I drink, the thing is, I'm a party animal. Everyone's like, yeah, you're a vibe. But you see, if something escalates and I've had a drink in me,
It's too much.
It's too much, and I don't know how to regulate my emotions. So the best thing to do is, I don't want to be like that. I want, when I have kids and I have a family, for my kids to be able to sit there and say, do you know what? My mum was chaotic when she was a kid, and you can chuck that in my face that my mum was mad. But look at what she's doing now. Look at how she's aspired to do
changed
better.
her life as well.
I was a kid. I knew no better. You got to think, even when I got this sentence, I was 22. Like, I was a child still, regardless whether people say, oh, you was over 18. I'd grew up in prison, so really, the people, you got to think, at 13, you start finding your personality, what you are. I was having officers teach me the way, not my family, because I was in prison. So what I learned, a product of your environment, was, well, I tell you what, if you don't listen to us, we're going to bend you up, we're going to stick you in your room, we're going to do... That what hope did I have, really?
Yeah, no, it's true. When you say it like this, it's true. And do you feel people used to test you as well?
Yeah.
Because you obviously got a name in the area when you was being naughty, doing this, doing that. People probably said, oh, yeah.
Police officers did. Police officers did stop me. And then just, yeah. And I'd end up getting arrested. Just for hitting the copper.
Just for hitting a copper.
No, that sounds bad. I'm not saying just for hitting the copper, but they didn't.
Just for hitting a copper.
They didn't stop me. No, that sounds so bad. They didn't stop me for an offence. They stopped me to terrorise me, and then
because it was you.
Yeah, basically.
And the thing is, as well, a lot of people know how to trigger people. They definitely knew how to trigger you. They thought, okay, let's push her buttons. We'll nick her. They probably saw it as a bit of a challenge as well. That's not going to happen anymore.
No way. Do you know what? I love it though, yeah, because the end of this journey, like within prison, the journey's not ended yet, but the end, there's officers, governors and that's like, you need to write a book, like, and you know, it's like, I went through what I went through for a reason. Like, if I can just help one kid, I remember officers from STC, little things that they've said, it still sticks with me now.
I will.
There was a governor, John Parker. He was the head of children's services, and I remember I used to get into trouble. I couldn't go to the education department. I had to be taught on the unit. And the one day he's brought me up to his office, and he had, obviously it's a normal black chair, but obviously when I was a kid it was this big black chair, and I was always cocky in a sense. So I was sat in the chair and I was like, this will be me one day. And he was like, the thing is, this can be you, but look at what you did. Why are you doing that? Yeah. And then he always rooted for me, and you know, like, now I want him to see me now, because he'd be like, I just knew it.
I'm sure he'll see the podcast, don't worry about that.
He'd probably be like, oh, she's still cocky.
The second it goes live, he's gonna be like, what the fuck has she said about me now?
Nah, he was lovely. He genuinely was lovely. Genuinely, there's so many officers I still remember from when I was a kid.
So before we wrap up, I want to talk about the last stretch you done in prison. 8 years behind the door.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I went on a night out. It wasn't planned. So it was a Thursday night. We was meant to go out on Friday. Started drinking for my friend's birthday. It was 12 o'clock. I was like, yeah, it's student night. Let's go out now.
How old was you at this point?
22.
Okay.
So I used to smoke a lot of weed, but I used to drink, but weed was my thing.
Your go-to.
Yeah. So obviously we're at student night, load of police in the town, in Reading it was. And I was smoking a spliff. Anyway, the girl that I was with, there was these lads stood there, but she knew who some of them was. And I think, I've heard the guy's in jail now for murder, but one of the lads, I think he was from London, he walked up and he was like, oh, send me some of your spliff. And I was like, no. I was like, who are you? And I just walked off. But as I've walked off, I've just felt blow into my face. So obviously, he's dazed me. Like, I've gone like this, my nose is pissing of blood, like, bad.
Oh, raw.
Yeah,
so he
like,
hit you
smacked
first?
me clean. But he was young, man. He was younger than me. Do you know what I mean? So he was probably gassed up, whatever, thinking he's bad. What? Because get your own weed if you're that bad. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so at the point, the police knew who I was. The police have turned up. my nose, there was just blood everywhere. The police are like, come on, we need to take you to hospital. You need to go to hospital. My nose was broke, yeah? And I was like, no, I'm all right. But in my head, I'm thinking, I'm getting this. Like, who do you think you are? Like, it was just, you know, because it was so unprovoked. All right, I told you couldn't have none of my spliff. It wasn't that deep. Do you get what I mean? Anyway, the police ended up taking me to hospital. I've ended up signing in because the police are there. As soon as the police left, I've left. Someone I know took me back into the town centre. I picked up a Stanley blade out of the bag that was in the car because he, the work that he did, obviously he had tools in his car. Anyway, I've gone back into the town. I'm looking for this guy. I went there with the intention to look for this guy. Yeah, my intention was for him. Yeah, I did not have no intention to hurt no one else, nothing. Anyway, was looking. They've gone. Yeah. I think because of the way I started going mad, he probably thought, what the hell? Anyway, they've ran off. So we've got to round near the chicken shop in Reading Town Centre. And when I've gone to go in, the man's the Asian guy's like, no, you can't come in. You got blood all over you.
Oh, you're still covered in blood?
Yeah, I was still covered in blood. I hadn't even been home. Right. I've gone to look for this guy. And then, so my friend's gone in. My friend at the time. My friend's gone in to get my food. I love chicken wings. I'm saved in my cousin's phone as chicken wing. I love them, yeah. I can munch them off. And she's gone in to get me food. I'm stood outside and I'm talking to my friend. Anyway, she's come out, got the food with the food. I'm eating the food. I've started walking off. Like, just eating my food, talking, whatever. Yeah. And I'm thinking, we'll find out who the lad is tomorrow. Everyone talks. Do you get what I mean? Anyway, next thing you know, my friend's gone, Nads, look. And I've turned around and my friend was like, not fighting, but scruffing with this guy. Yeah. So obviously I've ran up, I've gone to split it up, he's swung, but on the camera you could see he had something wrapped around his hand. But the police didn't care. They didn't want to know, yeah? But at this point the cameras haven't been put on the incident, yeah? So I didn't know at the time she had punched him. He actually defended me in court. That's the wickedest thing, and I still got slammed, yeah? So I didn't know she had punched him, and that's why he was going mad.
So she started it?
Yeah, she started it, yeah, and punched him and split his lip. But at this point, I didn't know this. I'm just defending my friend. Here comes hero Nardein again, ready to get birded off. And then, so I've got the... I was suffering with mental health really bad at the time, and obviously people around me would know, yeah? And I've got the standing blade in my pocket, and he's swung and he's hit me in the side of the head. Anyway, I'm like, are you mad? Like, but I know the CCTV, so I'm like, listen, mate. Like, but I was fuming. Anyway, I'm like, let's go. And as we was walking off, he kept following, but he's jumping around. He was 36. He's jumping around, Nepalese guy, and he's jumping around. Come on, man, whatever. And then I just pulled out the standing blade to scare him, and I still can't. I swear. Wallahi, yeah, I cannot remember the knife connecting with him. I just remember running after him. That was it. But when I turned around, it was like, I just blacked out. Something, I don't know what it was, yeah. And then, this is how I know. I didn't know that I had stabbed him, Mikey. I went home. If I knew I stabbed him, I wouldn't have gone home, yeah. I definitely wouldn't have. Anyway, we've got back to my house, and the police are come. Yeah, but I'm like this. They're banging on the door, whatever. And my friend had a friend with us, and he's like, I'm wanted. And I'm like, listen, the police ain't coming in. I ain't letting them in. Like this. Anyway, as the police have gone to pull off, he's gone like that to my blind, and the cop is like... So I've opened the window. I was like, what do you want? And they're like, oh, we just need to do a welfare check because you went to hospital earlier. So I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm fine. You can see I'm fine. But obviously I was moving mad. Anyway, I'm arguing with the police officers. I was like, come in the block. Come in. And we're going back and forth. Anyway, there was a standoff. They locked off the whole of Basingstoke Road in Reading. There was a standoff, armed police, whatever. And then I thought, this is a bit weird. Welfare check, and you going on like this? So I rang my solicitor. Obviously, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Regan, the police are outside. They're saying they want to do a welfare check. He's like, can you give them my number? But bear in mind, I'm on the top floor. There's like 4 landings. And so I've dashed the number. There was this woman, like, she was a negotiator, yeah?
You had a negotiator, right?
Yeah, so she was stood there, and she's like, Nardein, like, we just want to speak to you, make sure you're okay. So I was like, my solicitor's told you to call her. Call him, yeah, and shut the window. He's rang me and he's like, Nardein, they're saying you stabbed someone. I said, what? I said, I ain't stabbed no one. And he's like, I think you have, because the way they're going on. And I was like, no, there was madness in the town, but I just scared the guy. Like, my face is writ off, yeah? I don't know whether the punch that the guys hit me has dazed me or something, but I genuinely couldn't remember. Anyway, my sister's like, if you believe you haven't stabbed them, go down. I'll get a solicitor to Reading, because my solicitor's from Birmingham. I'll get a solicitor to Reading, don't worry, yeah? So I'm thinking, okay. So I packed a little bag. I goes down. The armed police is like at the door. Red dots on me. I'm like, what the hell? They're like, put your bag down, screaming at me, yeah? So I'm going back. I'm saying I ain't putting my bag down. I've just walked down from upstairs, but obviously I'm still under the influence of alcohol and that. So I'm thinking, this is a bit extreme. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, they've arrested me. I've ended up going to the police station. After this, what I didn't know was they've gone to my flat. This guy is saying that it's his flat. So he's going mad at the police. You're not arresting my missus. Rah, rah, rah. Apparently it escalated even further. They've arrested my friend, because obviously they knew she was there, and left him in my flat. Wait for this. So obviously they've left him in my flat. He's opened the window and started dashing things at the police. So they've gone back up to arrest him, yeah? I didn't know this at the time, yeah, until obviously I've got statements in front of me and I'm in prison. So I goes to, this is how deep it was, man. I went to the police station. And you know when they do the healthcare check? Yeah. If you look at my eyes, one pupil is bigger than the other. My eyes wasn't reacting to the light. So they thought I had a bleed on my head. So like, you need to go to hospital. I'm saying, I ain't going to hospital. I was like, no, just interview me, whatever, I'm not going. Anyway, they took me to hospital. I had to have things put in my eyes, whatever. I was meant to go back. I never ever went back. And then they've interviewed me and I just sat with my jumper over my face, like the whole interview, no comment, no comment, no comment. And then my solicitor's like, nah, your friend has said it's all you. Like, I was like, what? I said, nah, she wouldn't have done that. I was defending her. Why would she say it was all me? I just couldn't believe it. Like, I think now I can believe it, because everyone that is out for themselves. You don't want to be going jail. Do you know what the wickedest thing is, Mikey? She was on an ABH charge, man. I was on GBH with intent, and you couldn't even hold that ABH. It flabbergasted me. All right, she's never been in trouble. She was young. I don't even hold no feelings towards her no more. At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a lesson learned. But when I heard that, I was coming for war. I was thinking, yeah, when we get in that courtroom, I'm having you. I was fuming because I defended her as well.
And she started it.
Anyway, so I rings. I had a blower, yeah. So I rings her and I'm like, what the hell are you? What? She's passed the phone to her sister. So her sister's like, Shana was sat at the bus stop the whole time. She was, and I'm like, are you like dumb? Like, but obviously the other people that was there was like, no, that's not what went down. Like, no. Anyway, so we gets to court and I'm sat there. I'm still like, no comment. Like, it is what it is. And my solicitor's like, are you gonna get on the stand? And I'm thinking, do you know what? Yeah, I am. Like, I knew I was going to prison. Yeah, I knew. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie, Mikey, I didn't think I was going to prison for that long. I genuinely did not, yeah. I thought, that's a life sentence. People get less for killing people. So I get on the stand, yeah, and I'm basically stood there. So, you know the first incident?
Yeah? Where you got punched?
Yeah. They brought that to court and said it was the same guy. So my solicitor's like, that's not the same guy. So then they took that away and they had to get rid of it. The jury couldn't see it. This was like the lead up to the trial, yeah? And I'm saying, so where's the beginning of the incident? Because the only time the cameras come on is when I'm running with the knife after the guy. Where's the beginning? Where them two are scrapping? And I thought it was a setup. And this same copper, yeah, I was on bail for something for 7.5 months, signing on 2 times a week, yeah. And when I got NFA, she's like, I know it is you. She's like, I will get you. So when I got arrested for this, she was stood there at the desk when I walked in, and she's like, I want to get you this time. DCI right, yeah. I never forget her, yeah. And I don't even hold no feelings to her no more. But she was coming for me. So when we get to court, I'm thinking, you lot have stitched me up, man.
Yeah, you'd have done
Like,
all this just
you lot have, like, if you can see the first instant I've been here, they're saying that the coppers took me to hospital and I've come back for him and that's the same guy. That guy's like 18, this guy's like 36. What are you talking about? He's black, he's Nepalese. Like, I was just like, what the hell? But because I was so... I was still suffering with mental health. Obviously, the court trial was still going through with that officer, with what happened with the abuse and whatever. My head was all over the place. I went to prison and I was just taking drugs, doing whatever, yeah? So I couldn't represent myself. But if I stood in that court today, I know, I'd be able to get my point across, but I just couldn't represent myself.
Did she get arrested? Did she do time,
No. So we're in court and then... my solicitor goes to me, I've got on the thing and I'm like, listen, I just went back for chicken wings. And I starts laughing, but I laugh when I'm nervous. It's not that I think it's funny, but like the jury's looking at me and I'm like, I just went back for chicken wings. Like, it weren't even like that. And they're looking at me like, is she all right? Like, what is she laughing at? And then I gets back in the stand and then a couple of days later, I'll never forget it, man. Like, I was in the court, I got there because she was on bail outside and I was on remand. And my solicitor went to me, Nardein, she's getting acquitted today. And I was like, what? I said, you're lying, yeah? So, bearing in mind...
Didn't the guy, the victim, turn up...
he defended me.
But didn't he turn around and say she started it all?
So, basically, when he stood up in court, he made out he needed a translator, Straight away, I'm fuming because I'm saying, you was arguing with us. So, clearly... you can talk English. That was the worst thing, And then he stood there. Anyway, the prosecution's going to him. We know Miss Murrihy started this. She's got previous, whatever. And he's talking in his language to this interpreter. And the judge is like, you need to translate what he's saying. And the person went, well, he's saying it wasn't her that started it. It was the other one. So I'm sat there and I was like, and I turned to the sister and I just smirked because I don't need to be like your sister started it on a dock. I don't need to do that. At the end of the day, I know the truth. Do you get it? But when he said it, I was like, boom, that's all I needed.
Like, shut up, police as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, like, your sister was sat at the bus stop the whole time, was she? But then the clerks got up and said something to the judge, and the juries got sent out. Anyway, this just didn't help me, So the judge is like, Miss Murrihy, you can't be pulling faces. And I was like, listen, the victim has just told you. I said, I know I'm going to prison. I know I'm going. I said, they've just told you I didn't start it. And, like, basically she's telling me, Miss Murrihy, you need to be quiet. I'm telling her, get fucked. I'm going to jail anyway. I get dragged downstairs. Anyway, after this, I thought, nah, my solicitor's saying she's getting acquitted. I said, what? I said, you're lying. I said, after all this, are you joking? Yeah, but Nardein, it's not on CCTV. It's her word versus his. And I was like, this can't be happening. In a sense, I didn't want to go to prison, but because of the violation that she done.
She snitched as well. Do
you get it? That's the karma that you should have got, like, kind of thing. But then in another sense, she was young, whatever, it is what it is. I believe every dog has its day, so whatever happens, I don't need to do nothing to you because I believe in the power of God, so whatever's going to happen to you is going to happen. Anyway, so I went back to court, and then they was like, you've been found guilty. And I remember, you know when you remember the jury's face? It was weird. I remember them standing up, and I'm sat there, dressed all sweet, and I'm thinking, it is what it is, I'm getting sent down. And they was like, then they... is it like judge's remand? Yeah, it's judge's remand. So they sent me down. I was guilty. I had to wait for sentencing. And I remember my friend, my maid hype, went to me, you're getting slammed. I was that unwell, mental health. I was like, nah. I said, I ain't getting slammed. I said, what the hell? Like, I'm not. And I genuinely didn't think I was getting slammed. Anyway, I ended up doing a riot before I got sentenced in HMP Bronzefield. There was a few of us, Nationals come in, battered us. That was the first time that I'd done something and Nationals come in, and it was like, when I seen them all blacked out, I thought, normally it's the staff getting kitted up and you're like, all right. But this was serious. Like, I was like, what the hell? I'm dashing the hot water at them, and they're running through the hot water. I'm thinking, they're going to kill me. Anyway, they battered us. I got put to the seg. Obviously, they broke, like, mashed my hand, yeah? So I've covered everything, and I'm sat on the end of the bed, and the bed's here and the door's there, and I'm thinking, no, you ain't getting away with this. And everyone's shouting me, because we've all got took to the seg, and everyone's shouting to me and going, Nardein, you're right, just answer us, yeah? Because obviously I've been dashed in there, they're thinking that these, like, and I was sat there, they've opened the door, because the officers were like, Nardein, and I've just ran at them. And where the seg is in Bronzeville, healthcare's right opposite, they've carried me, yeah, to the healthcare. But at the time, the smoking ban had come in for healthcare places, so I couldn't smoke there. So they've come to me, they said, we just need to have the hatch, because the hatch is dropped, just to make sure you're okay. Tomorrow you can go back. No, I never went back to that seg. Everyone was enjoying themselves in the seg, and I was in healthcare with people banging on the doors constantly and that. It was chaos. Anyway, that was New Year's Day, all over Monopoly pieces. That's what the riot was over. I know, Mikey, yeah. Now you laugh about it because you think how pathetic. But basically, there was a new officer. And, you know, the new officers, you just take the piss kind of thing. And he was sat at the table under the bars. Yeah. And we was just chucking Monopoly houses at him. He lost his shit. So obviously, we're all high and that. We're crying, yeah. He's like, I'm going to get the CM. And I'm like, go on. So as he's gone, we've run down, picked up all the houses, sat at the top of the stairs, at the top of the thing. And they're like, that's it, you're all going to your rooms. I'm saying, it's New Year's Day, I ain't going to my room, but you have to go and get hot water. So we've gone downstairs to get the hot water. And I was like, I had my sliders on. I was not ready to do a riot. And I was like, sat there, and I was like, I ain't going behind my door. And then everyone was like, fuck it, should we just stay out? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. At this point, I was in fuck it mode. I didn't care, yeah? So that happened. And then on the Friday the 13th, I got sentenced.
What month?
January.
Friday,
January, the 13th of January, 2017, on a Friday. So I goes to court, and obviously I've gone from healthcare because I'm not allowed back onto the house blocks. Yeah. And I gets to court, and there was another girl from Bronzefield that come with me, Misty. She came with me, and she wasn't meant to be in that court, but I feel even that was like a God-given sign, you know, so I had someone there, like God knew I was going to get that sentence. Anyway, so I'm sat there, she's like, do you think you're going to get long? And I was like, nah, I'm all right.
How long was you expecting?
I don't know, not 14 years, probably like 7. Yeah. Like, so I knew I was getting sent down for a long period of time, but I think because I ran trial, I didn't understand, my logic was not working, so it was like that third off and that, I never got nothing. Anyway, so we goes up to court, and they're talking about the sentencing, and yeah, you're in the bracket category 1, this and that, and starting 50, and I was like, I'm looking, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no. And I'm just sat there, but I'm high as a kite, yeah? So I'm like, I can't even process what she's saying. Anyway, she's like, Miss Murrihy, can you stand up, please? So I stood up, and she went, yeah, starting point's this, you got 14 years, do 10. But I couldn't understand it, do you get it? And I'll never forget, see this CID woman that I said was coming for me? She turned and went, like, I don't even think she thought I was going to get that long. Anyway, I just looked at the man, and I was like, thank you, can you take me down? And now, when I went for my appeal and I was looking at the, you know, when they write everything down in court, I was thinking, what am I thanking you for? You've just birded me off. Anyway, I get downstairs, but as I'm walking down the stairs, the guy kept going to me, you know, the GOA guy. Yeah. He's like, are you all right? Like, are you actually all right? And I was like, listen, I've told you 100 times, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Like, I'm going to talk to him anyway. Anyway, we get to the door, and Misty goes, how long did you get? And I was like, 14 years, do you 10? And she's like, fuck off. And I was like, no, I did. She's like, what? And the man's like, can you make sure she's okay? Anyway, I went in there, got high, gone back to the prison. When I got back to the prison, Daryl, I don't know whether he still works at Bronzefield, Daryl and Paula, I think it was, when I've walked through, they're like, Nardein, can you come into the side room? And I've gone in there, and there's like, are you all right? At this point, I still hadn't processed.
It didn't hit you yet.
It hadn't hit me, Mikey. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I think I was just like, this is the consequences of your behaviour. Get on with it kind of thing. And I'm very resilient in that sense as whatever's chucked at me, I just get on with it. I'm not really... there's no time to sit there and be upset for yourself. Anyway, they took me into the room and they said to me, is there anything we can do? And I went, can you put me back on the house block? They was like, no, that's not happening. I said, so what are you going to do to help me? I was like, take me back to the healthcare. And there was this guy, yeah, I'll never forget, Duncan, yeah. Anyone that's been Bronzefield knows he was I thought he was a prick, yeah? Now, I got a different opinion of him. I remember going back, and he went to me, obviously in healthcare you couldn't smoke, remember I said?
Yeah.
And he went to me, right, when everyone's gone and that, he was like, you can go to the back door and have a fag. And you know, from that little finger to someone else, it might seem so...
Yeah, but to you, that's a massive deal.
Yeah, but obviously I ain't had a fag now from New Year's Day to like 2 weeks. I got a rush and everything. Anyway, the next day, Nathan Swordford, he was a governor at the time, but he used to be my resettlement worker. I love him. I actually do. Like, he was just like one of us, Mikey, genuinely. Like, and he used to have like big afro tight back, but he cut it all off when he went for a different look. Anyway, he come down, and I had a different... when I was recalled on my last sentence, he got me out, went to MAPA meetings. Like, he helped me a lot. Yeah. And he come down and he was like, come on. And I went in the room and he went, Nads, I don't think he's going to get that long. And I sat there looking at him, and with him, I could...
You could chat on a level.
I could chat on a level. I just started crying. I said, listen, I am not going to make it till the end of this sentence, And he just got up. He fuck the rules, fuck everything. He grabbed me and I was crying and he was like, listen, he said, he said, Nardein, you've practically done that sentence already on and off. You've had a little break here. He said, you can do it. And, you know, he was sat there and he was going, listen, he said, he said, when I heard, he said, and I come in, he said, I knew I had to come see you. He said, please, like, just knuckle down. He's like, and I think slightly he knew, that was it. I was going off the rails. But I think he always had faith, because he come from the roads, he had faith that, do you know what, she can turn it around, like, this could be the making of her, or it can break her, kind of thing. So after that, they was like, right, now you're sentenced, you can be shipped out. So they sent me to Downview. I lasted 3 weeks, and it's...
Yeah, go on.
I lasted 3 weeks and a half. And I ended up beating up a CM who I asked to do restorative justice with at the end of my sentence, and she was willing to do it, but it got cancelled last minute. All over because we come out of the gym, and Downview, remember it shut to go to males and then it reopened. So the 4s weren't open at the time. It was just 1, 2s and 3s. And there was bare new officers, Holloway officers, whatever. And she come up, and I remember she didn't know the room was mine, so I've just walked out in my bucket and I'm thinking I'm going to the shower, and then she's like, where you going? Realised that was my room, and then I've gone to put the bucket down and she's gone to grab me, and it's just I ended up...
Why'd she go to grab you though?
Obviously to put me in my room.
Oh, okay.
But obviously at this point, obviously I was security shipped out to there. I think they knew I was just like, get her in her room. But there's this officer by herself. Obviously, there's the CM, Miss Miller, and then there's a young officer. She just started screaming. It was the prisoners that pressed the alarm. When I heard that, I was like, you what? Now, obviously, how serious it was, now I get it. And, they got outside police, I had blood on me. I split her face open. I went to the seg. And then they said to me, obviously, remember when I did the riot in Bronzefield, we all got split up, went different jails. So they went to me, you're getting shipped out. And I was like, and I knew my friend was in Peterborough. And I was like, can I go to Peterborough? Like, can you see a Peterborough accept me? And I shouldn't even laugh, you know, it's no funny. Please shut that bit out. It was hype again. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go Peterborough. Anyway, so I got shipped out and I ended up going Peterborough. And it was so bad, I said to them, listen, if you fuck up my shit, I ain't getting on that bus. So Governor Godfrey actually when everyone's gone to work, he said, right, lock the wing down, Nardein can come and pack her own stuff, we'll lock her behind the door. They let me pack my own stuff, So I've packed my stuff. The officers was fuming. I've just hit one of the other officers. Why is the governor doing this? They was livid, So I've packed my stuff, gone back to the seg, got shipped out the next day, goes to Peterborough. And then when I went to Peterborough, I was just involved in madness. Obviously, the court case for the person that abused me hadn't come up yet. And when I was in Bronzefield, something come out about Medway, something that happened to me in Medway with an officer. So I was fighting two things. I was just somewhere else. I'd just got 14 years. My head was all over the place. 2017 was my worst year in prison. And the governors are probably like, yeah, it was our worst year as well. But it genuinely was. I was struggling. I was lost. I contemplated committing suicide. Like, it was so bad. But I just didn't know how to ask for help. So it was just like, she's aggressive, she's this.
Yeah.
And I went to Peterborough and I was just moving mad, taking drugs, doing whatever. And then...
I'm waiting for a but at some point.
Nah, it went on. It went on, Mikey.
So when did it change?
So 2017, I got shipped out of Peterborough, went to Newhall. I was there not even a month, ended up doing a riot. I got put in the seg for 5 months, and I got central managed by the Ministry of Justice for 2 years, and I ended up going foster. It didn't change. Then I went to Low Newton. That jail.
What's that like?
That is jail.
Oh, really?
I shouldn't even. That jail, from the moment I landed on the Friday, on the Monday, DST come through my door. And the CM from security was like, you ain't going to do the same shit that you've done in every jail in this jail. And I was thinking, oh, fuck off. Like, Swanee his name was, and I'll never forget. I was like, you prick. Like, I couldn't stand him. And then... yeah, I carried on, and then I had 13 strip searches in a matter of 8 weeks. They tried to cover it up because I got my solicitor involved, and they tried to cover it up and said I only had 6. No, I didn't. Like, you was coming through my door all the time, and then I just had enough, and I was just like, listen, this is long. You know, like, you go to the toilet or the shower and you're paranoid they're going to bust the door. And it was like I'd walk into the dining hall in Low Newton and every female officer is seeing my whole naked body, and it was just like, I just felt
comfortable.
Yeah, I just felt uncomfortable, shame. I got to a point where I was just like, whatever. And there was this woman in education. Well, there was a couple of people in education. There was a Scottish guy, a catering guy, Paul, he was sound. And then there was Zoe, the head of it. And then there was another woman. And she said to me, listen, you're not stupid, you know. Have you ever thought about doing distance learning? And I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. And she was like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to work with kids. Like, I've always wanted to work with kids.
Yeah.
I said, I want to work with kids. And she was like, why don't we get you on an access course and then we'll go from there. So I did people work in society, and then COVID hit. I had to count them. You see the word count? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, it's like 100 words and whatever. And then I completed it, and I think I got like 80 something. And I was like, what? I was like, I didn't even finish school. But the thing was, even my teacher said to my mum, Nardein's not stupid.
Yeah.
She just piss asses about. And my mum was like, give her more work then. And they was like, yeah, but we can't do that. So it wasn't that I was stupid. I was actually I think the ADHD, if I enjoyed something,
You would have smashed it.
I'd smash it. So then I completed the access course, and then I went on to do a degree in criminology and youth justice. And it was the best, Mikey. I swear, the thing to understand why the system works the way it does.
And this was when you was in a changing period here.
I was still
being a little shit.
I wouldn't say being a little shit, yeah, but I was still a problem in a sense, like arguing with officers or whatever. But there was change coming, and then I went onto the pipe unit. And there was, I love Georges, you know, they're so, like, the further north you go, yeah, they're ruthless. But there was an officer, Miss McNally, and she rooted for me. Like, these officers couldn't stand me. Some of the officers was like, she's scum, like what she's done in prison, whatever. And Miss McNally proper rooted for me. She was like, do you know what? No, I like her. And Baby P's mum was there. And Tracy Connolly. And I terrorised her. I hated her. I thought, do you know what? But at the time, my friend was like, why does it always have to be you? Like, Nad, you're trying to get you open. Bear in mind, this was 2020, and I'm meant to be going for open in 2021, but I couldn't, I can't put my hands on you like I would have done years ago to a nonce, but actually, I'm going to terrorise you. So I used to just do dumb shit, do you know what I mean? Like, you fucking wrong, and slamming the hatch when she's sleeping. You know, just petty shit.
Just to piss off, kind of.
And then, or like when she put her food in the oven, like me and my friend used to like, just turn it off and shit. And she could eat. Tracy Connolly can eat, man. Like, she got big, yeah? Even remember when she first got released and they had the picture of her with bare bottles of Coke?
Yeah.
She used to get like 10 pot noodles and back off 5 in one. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Anyway, going back to it, ADHD. Miss McNally come and she said to me, come on, Nardein, we need to go and have a chat. And she was like, she actually said to me, she explained it in a way, yeah, that logically it made sense, yeah? See the way we're attracted, yeah, to what we're attracted to. These people are psychologically messed up. Do you get it? They're attracted to kids. So nothing you do, you're going to ruin yourself, lose your parole, lose everything for someone that is going to be fucked up for the rest of their life. But I explained to her, it probably had nothing to do with Tracy Connolly. It was because of the trauma I went through. I thought, do you know what? Why should you get an easy sentence? People like you have ruined my life. And that's exactly what I thought. And then my friend sat me down. China, she sat me down and she's like, listen, she's like, you need to sort your head out, like, whatever. And then I just started changing, carrying on doing my degree and whatever. And Miss McNally, I remember we went into the group one day and Miss McNally had obviously spoke to her and said, look, Nardein's going to leave you alone now, whatever. Just don't speak to her. Don't, like, force it or whatever, yeah? And she passed me the piece of paper. But bear in mind, she sat there and I'm, like, sat all the way over here. She got up to pass me the piece of paper and she's like, here you go. And I was just like, you know, like seething. Like, I don't know what it is about people like that. I just think they get an easy ride. And then, so then after that, I had one more incident. Yeah, I had one more incident in Low Newton before I got shipped out. And there was this bird. Ugh, scum, mate, scum. And she spat through the gate. And it landed on my jacket. And everyone was like, oh, she's dangerous. She was a bully, Mikey, yeah? That's exactly what she was. Yeah. Taking people's meds. She was a smackhead. Sorry. But, like, she was a smoker, yeah? And she'd been coming in. And that was her jail. And they was like, yeah, she's dangerous. And I was like, this is a new generation. Like, she's 50-something. Like, no one cares about her. And then I caught her. Yeah, I caught her. I was doing Bix. It was COVID. And they come down to get their methadone. And one of the prisoners was like, oh, don't go out there, sea wings coming down. And I was like, so? And then I was like, oh, I forgot my mask. I need to go back for my mask. And the Bix women, Sharon and Claire, they was like looking at me. Next thing you know, I wouldn't stop. And then after that, she left. She didn't say nothing again. But it was like what we was talking about before. The bully, you get shown up. And all her friends was stood there. And I was thinking, you think my friends down south, if I got into a fight in Bronzefield, do you think my friend's going to stand there? It's a different, but I think because I went that mad and she had been hyping herself up, saying, yeah, when I catch her and all of this, it kind of like, well, you just made yourself look like a right dick.
Everyone thought, yeah.
And then after that, I remember there was an officer, Mr. B, yeah, when I got arrested, when I got an adjudication for that, in the afternoon, I was out cleaning. And everyone was like, but I think because the officers knew she was a bully,
she was that bad,
they thought, you deserved it. And Mr. B come to me and he said to me, he's like, someone spat at me. He's like, and I knew what he meant. If a prisoner spat at him, you'd
wrap him up.
Do you get what I mean? So I got a suspension, suspended award for however long. And then I got shipped out to send. And that is when the change happened, man. Like I had to sit there and take my pride away. I had to, you know, like certain situations where you think I'm a fucking dickhead. Yeah. But actually, I know that if you put your hand on me, like fully get it cracking, I'm gonna end up fighting with you. Do you get what I mean? But what have I got to prove anymore? Like I've been doing it for so long. Like I had to really sit there and take a look at myself and think. Like, my nan and granddad's getting old. Like, I'm missing out on so much. My auntie, she's not very well at the moment. Like, there's so many things that it was a lot, man. And I just thought, I'm done. Like, you know, I don't know. People say light bulb moment. There wasn't.
And you fully stopped?
Yeah.
Everything just changed? That was it?
So I've become a peer mentor for substance misuse.
Okay.
And I thrived, man. I delivered seminars to the governor about trauma informed. Going from a youth estate to an adult estate and how it can be so different because of the trauma. Joining in drug strat meetings for Forward Trust with the governors, healthcare, number one, this and that. Like my whole, and people, you get that, oh, she thinks she's something. But I loved my job. I loved helping the women. I loved showing them, do you know what? If you can't write, I'll help you write a letter. Yeah. If you can't do this, I'll help you. And I remember they used to say, oh, she's always walking the wings and whatever. And I used to say to substance misuse, the thing is, when they're all at work, who's really getting on it like that? It's association, it's the weekends, it's whatever. And I just had a lot of time, and I lost a few friends because they were still in the madness. They're like, oh, look at her thinking she's better than people. But then I kept some good friends, and I'm still friends with them now. They still call me, and I'm still like, listen, you can do it. My one friend, she's a lifer, yeah. She's now got a recovery. She bangs the gym. Like, you know, like, I've gave her.
And the thing is, now you're seeing change in other people.
Yeah.
To you, you're like, I've done that. I've helped you.
I've helped you see there's a way out.
Yeah.
Because when you're stuck in that environment, yeah, and when you've got a reputation in a prison, they don't care what you're going to change. And some officers root for you. Do you get it? Like, I had a key worker in Send, and I knew her from Bronzefield, so she knew me at my worst. These officers didn't know. Do you know what I mean? And I knew her I knew her 11 years now. And I've got so much time for her, and I'd be, you know, like when I'd have a moment and I'd be talking and they'd be like, why is she talking like that? But she understood, I'm not being aggressive, I'm just having a conversation. Like, I need to let it out some way, and if I don't let it out that way, my thing was getting restrained, because by the time I get restrained, I'm okay. Like, I've let it all out, and I didn't want to go back to them old behaviours and habits of it weren't healthy.
Yeah,
it genuinely wasn't.
And the thing is as well, these prisoners, they can talk to you on a level as well, because
yeah.
It ain't like you've got a little Miss Goody Two Shoes talking to them.
Yeah.
You've done everything they've done. You've been in their position. Yeah. You've been a naughty girl. You've been there. You've done it. You've served the time. So when they're saying to you, when you're saying to someone, listen, you can do it, they can't turn around and say, you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I do know, mate. I've done it, kind of thing.
I genuinely, and do you know what? I care about these people, yeah, because like I just sit there and I think, people don't understand, yeah, the trauma that women have been through in prison. They think, yeah, women talk. Women don't talk about everything. They talk about what they don't care about you knowing. There's so much in women's lives that they're struggling with. And there's women in there doing life sentences with kids. Do you get it? Like, they've got to sit there with that fact that I'm not taking my kid to high school for the first day. I'm not doing... Imagine what they're actually going through, and then they get into relationships because they just want that attention, and it's sad, man. And I just think by me paving the way in a sense in there and showing people, listen, if she can do it, there's a governor in Drake Hall, yeah, he wants me to go back in, and he said to my friend that's there, enough alive, he said, listen, if Nardein can do it,
anyone can do it.
Like, don't be telling me you can't do it. And it's nice because it's like there's so many officers that probably ripped me off, Mikey, and said, you know what, she's going to be a waster for the rest of her life. Look what she's done. She's a disgrace. She's this. And then there were certain officers that always held that hope for me until I held it for myself. And that's the way I look at it.
Listen, from speaking to you, we've been speaking an hour and 47 minutes.
That long? I can talk. I know they said I could talk, but that's crazy.
Hour and 47 minutes. And from the minute I met you, obviously we spoke previously before you come on the show. You told me what you'd done. You told me all of it. If you sat opposite me and said, Mikey, I was joking about all that message, I just wanted to come and meet you, I would have believed it. I wouldn't have actually thought who I've met today has done X, Y, Z, done 10 years behind, has done this, has done that, has that. And I'd say that's with 99% of the people I interview who have spent time behind doors. You don't get that. You look at them and you think there's a little bit of side to them. You can look in their eyes and think, at any given moment I can see them going. With you, you don't. You know, I explain, when people say, what do you do? I say, I interview ex-criminals. And they say, what's it like? And I say, sometimes when I interview them, I look into their eyes and you hit a wall. Yeah. That's how I give off when I can tell if they're still being naughty or not. Yeah. When you look into their eyes, you see a wall and it's like, boom.
Have they still got that side?
And you see it. With you, you don't.
Yeah.
With you, you're... And I don't know how you've done it. And listen, credit where credit's due, because who you are today and what you're telling me you was, like, genuinely, big flowers to you, because I couldn't do it. I don't think I'm strong enough to go from being... Like, even me, I was a naughty little kid. You've said it 100 times. I was a naughty little kid. At any given moment, I can still lose my head. I don't have the willpower. You've somehow got that. And listen, credit where credit's due, but this is the start of your journey. Yeah, you've been out 9 weeks. Yeah, you've spent however long you spent inside. Fuck it. You spent 20 years inside, yeah? Touch wood, you ain't dying anytime soon. Yeah. You still got now plenty more years to make up for all that lost time.
And there's so many doors opening. Like, people want me to go back into female prisons. Like, when I was in Open, I was working with a charity called Refocus Project, and Lennox Rogers, good guy, his wife Bally, and you know, like, they gave me that belief in myself. Listen, you can work with kids, you can do this. Lennox went to prison for armed robbery and whatever, and he's wrote a book called Breaking Better. read it. It's a good read. But yeah, so they showed me that I can do it. And then when I come out, I thought, because I said to probation, I'm just going to sit for 6 months and I'm just going to
chill.
And then I thought, nah, man.
I've been sitting for 10 years.
I am going to get everything that is why I go by Comeback Queen, because I'm coming back for everything. Anything that I've ever dreamed of having, the nice car, the house, the job, the career, I'm taking. And if someone wants to come in my life and build an empire with me, cool. If you don't,
but the thing is, you can do that as well.
yeah, of course you can.
And the way you need to look at it, you've done 10 years inside, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, that's a 10-year apprenticeship. Now it's time to start work.
Yeah.
You've done it. You've done all the hard graft, understanding the prisons, because that's what your work's about. You know it inside out.
Yeah.
You know how to make someone feel better. You know how to actually connect with that person. And listen, like the Gov said, if you can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
So that in itself, that's its selling point.
Yeah.
That you're telling me you can't make someone who's going through a lot feel better. I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know how to. When that person's pissed off, you know, okay, cool, maybe give them space. When I was pissed off, I wanted space. All right, maybe let me go help her. Let me do this. You know all of it.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you're new to. Yeah. It's not something that you can't do. Mm-hmm. The only thing stopping it being the best thing in the world for you is yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel like if you want something that bad, you're going to go out and get it. People think the world owes them a favour. Yeah, the system is messed up. What happened in Medway, whatever, I will get justice for what happened, whether it's 20 years down the line, whatever, I will, But I'm not letting things control my life no more. At the end of the day, I do sit there and I do think, like, like resentments. People say, oh, you don't, like, once you go through recovery, you don't have resentments. They exist, I have that resentment that my childhood was took away. But then I look on the flip side and I think, like you said, the work I want to do, you've basically give me that lived experience so I can go out there and I can help people. Why not?
What's the next 5 years plan for you? Or 3 years plan? Let's keep it sweet. What's the next 3 years plan for you?
So the next 3 years, I want to finish the degree.
Yeah.
Alongside going back into prisons. I don't know if you know, Medway's reopening into Oasis.
Okay.
And I want to get my foot in there because I feel like there needs to be, or for people that's been in that situation as a kid, working alongside the organisations. Yeah, and just bringing more awareness, just showing kids that, listen, you can hit a rough patch, but it don't have to be forever. Like, I took 17 years. Like, you don't have to take that long. But now, I feel like now, with more people like myself and other people that's been to prison, why not? Like, I believe, if you're not part of the change, you're part of the problem, and I stand by it, because how can I sit here and say, the system needs to change, this needs to change, that needs to change, but I'm not part of it. So that is my aim. My aim is to basically do that work. Wherever I end up in 3 years, I'm just living for the moment. I'm just literally thinking, do you know what? Whatever comes my way, I take the opportunities. Yeah, like, I'm alive. Yeah.
Listen, you smashed it. One thing I will say regarding helping the kids, I got asked to go into a school and do a talk the other day. Yeah, so I'll tell you a little story, then we'll wrap it up. I was sat at a shisha bar, and if you're watching this, big shout out to you as well. I was sat in a shisha bar.
What, the shisha bar?
No, not the shisha bar. The person who's watching this, they're a fan of the show as well. I was sat in a shisha bar. It was Tiger Bay, to be precise. I sat there. The owner's my best mate. He calls me over. I went over. I said, "Yo, how you doing?" And he had two friends there. One of them was a fan of the podcast, starts talking to me. And the other is she works in a school, but it's a naughty school.
Yeah, Pru.
Same as Pru. And she's talking to me now. She goes, I told her what I do. I interview ex-criminals, Yeah. She goes, can you please come in and give a talk to the school? I'm confident. I'll talk to anyone. I was like, nah.
Why?
She's like, listen, she goes, clearly you're not a criminal. You've interviewed loads of criminals, so you must have some sort of understanding of where it's going wrong. She was like, can you please come in and give a talk?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd love to do it. I was like, I'll think about it. I said, the only thing I would love to talk about is this one thing, and I want you to talk to students about this as well, is drug dealing. It's finished. Stabbing people on the road, it's done. There's no money left in it. There is no money. Drug dealers, they're not making money.
Yeah.
Go make yourself a TikTok account.
People are making dough.
Go make yourself some money. Like, I sat there, and obviously I'm in the social world. Yeah, I love social media.
Get it. I didn't even know how to turn on my iPhone.
I'll tell you, my mum, big shout out to my mum if she's watching this. She turned around, she's not watching it. My mum sat there, she invited me to a
You
shop.
should get your mum to watch it.
No, she does. She watches the ones she likes. The women, she'll watch your one. She only watches the women. The men, she's like, I don't care. So she invites me to a shop about a month ago. I went to a shop and I don't live with mum. I moved out. I'm doing my own thing. She was like, Mikey. She was like, can I speak to you? I was like, yeah, cool. She goes, what's up, mum? She was like, how are you financially? I was like, I'm good. I don't talk about my finances.
Yeah.
Touch wood, I'm doing well. But I used to be a proper bragger. I'm not a bragger no more. I was like, yeah, I'm doing well.
People start hating, man.
I was like, Mum, I'm doing well. She was like, I know all this YouTube stuff doesn't pay money. Like, do you need some money? I wanted to tell him like, "Yo, mum, man's making peas." You get me? But I was like, "Mum," I was like, "What?" Like, that's how far the older generation is gone. Yeah. They don't understand. Like, my mum genuinely thinks I do this for like jokes. She actually thinks like
just bants.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I do it for bants. Yeah, I love it. Even if I didn't get paid £1, I'd still be doing it.
Yeah.
But the younger generation don't understand that all that drug dealing was done. Yeah. The older generation don't understand you can make money from socials. Like, social media, there's more. I always say, this is my motto, there is more money online than there is on the streets now. Yeah, and anyone who don't think that is nuts. There's the roads. How many roads you're going to walk up and down and hit shots?
Listen, the way my niece knows how to use social media, I'm like, what? She shows me how to do so much, Mikey, and I'm like, I wouldn't even know what to do. Edit things, this, that, and I'm like, what the hell? But you gotta think, when we was kids, we had what? Nokia 3310. It was the Snake, remember? And then we had a BlackBerry. As soon as iPhones was made,
Right, when we got BlackBerry, I thought I was the man.
Can you remember what's your BBM?
Oh yeah, I don't remember my PIN, but I remember I got the bold once, the BlackBerry bold. Yeah.
My dad got me the torch.
I got the bold. When the latest one came out, it was the BlackBerry, the full touchscreen one.
Oh yeah. I can't remember, but I had the torch. My dad got me it.
So I had the torch as well.
My dad, I come out of jail. My dad's like, "Are you going?" I was like, "What?"
I remember when we was young, we didn't have money. I had the Curve. That was the cheapest one, innit?
Yeah.
So I got the Curve. When I got that, I remember that was like £99. I remember back in the day.
How many girls did you have on your pin?
On my BBM? I don't know. But then I remember my dad or did my dad or my brother? Someone gave me a bold. The bold was for like the big dogs, innit? Like you was.
Was summer if you had it.
Pulled out your bold. You're like, yeah, I got a bold now. I mean, did you ever get the phone case that covered the whole phone?
No.
What?
I didn't know. I just.
Aye, when I got that phone case.
What do you mean it covered the whole phone?
It was like it covered the keyboard as well.
No.
Oh, you had the basic thing, man.
Shut up.
You had the basic one.
What? No. So if you had a case, that was it. You was a bigger dog.
I was basically the headmaster of the school at that rate. I was basically the man. No, but listen, on a serious level, you smashed it. I can't, like, you know what it is? I sit here and I leave some podcasts and I'm like, yo, that person's mad. Or, yo, that person, fuck me, man, they killed this many people or they shot this many people. Oh, no. With you, I think you need to stop letting your past affect your future. You're not that person no more. Yeah. You've closed that door. That door's closed. That person ain't with us no more. Yeah. They've gone. All that story you just told us is that old person. It's finished. Whoever that is, she's gone. See you later. Yeah. You've created a new person. That is, you're reborn. You're re-alive. This is you now. You don't need to go and justify yourself to all these old people. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you used to be mad. Oh, yeah, fuck off, bro. I'm not her no more. Move out my life. Yeah. I'm not that person. This is me. Nice to meet you. Like, you're a new person. People can't judge. If whoever judges you on your past, see you later, get my life. Yeah, I don't need you. I don't need your past. I don't need your shit no more. Because you're not judging these people you're working with. No. So why is anyone judging you?
Nowhere. I feel like it's not our job to judge. Like, when we die, that is our time, man. That's when we have to. And you know what? I feel no one but Allah, because
listen, it's the only thing we promise.
See when that day comes, he's the only person that I got to answer to. And obviously, I want to make my family proud because I've caused them so much stress, but I feel like this, they say, the dunya is a testing place, not a resting place, and I believe that. I believe that.
When did you revert?
2021.
Okay, so you reverted in you come out 2024, or you come out? Yeah, 2024.
Yeah.
So you obviously, you know that when you revert, all your sins are wiped, you're a new person, you're fresh, da 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 da. And I know you're going to probably say, yeah, but I still done some madness after. Yeah. I knew it.
No, do you know what? There's a few things that I'm thinking, I need to get back on my Dean, I'm not going to lie. But do you know what? Even, like, Sister Fatima, I love you, but Sister Fatima, she's so understanding. Like, this is the woman that used to give me books. And I'd ask her questions. And I remember she said, why have you not, like, converted? And I said, I love pork, you know, like I love a bacon sandwich. And she went, if that's the only reason why you haven't converted, she went, you need to seriously take a look at yourself. But her mum was a white Scottish lady. She passed away, sad man. But yeah, she's mixed race. So like she used to come in, like she wears the full headscarf, everything. But she was so down to earth, Mikey. You know, like I could talk to her about anything, yeah. And she used to give me these books, and I used to read them, and it was like the power of the tongue and everything being on a scroll and getting read back to you. And I thought, I don't want to see my scroll, do you know what I mean? But I used to ask her questions, and then the way of life, like there was a book, Islam in Focus it's called, and it's got like a maze on the front, That book changed my life, It said in there about why alcohol and drugs are haram, what marriage, everything, I don't know about the 4 wives, like we're pushing it with that, like I'm not gonna lie, I don't like sharing, but the thing with the haram thing, it's like the way that you conduct yourself under the influence is not the way you, like if I come here today and I'd had a drink, I'd be like, hey Mikey, whereas like actually I'm being the person that I was destined to
that's
be
why they call
without
it. That's why they call it spirits.
Yeah,
it brings out the bad spirit in you.
Yeah, evil juice.
Like I reverted 2 and a bit years ago now. Yeah, no, I've had 2 Ramadans. 2 and a bit years ago now. Yeah, I've drunk. I've done it all. I've experienced it all. Do I sit there sometimes and think, oh yeah, one day I wish I could be like that? 100% I do.
Yeah. You wouldn't.
I'm not going to sit here and bullshit.
Yeah.
All my boys are sat there having a lit time.
Yeah.
Do I sit there and think, oh, I wish I could? 1 billion %. I'll openly say it. Whoever wants to draw me out about it, draw me out.
Yeah.
But then I look at my life and I look what Allah has given me since, and I say
the doors that have opened.
And I say that isn't worth none of that.
Yeah.
That's when I have that relapse, and I think, okay, nah, that isn't worth that.
Listen, my life coming out and not drinking alcohol, and like it's changed, and I can feel like something happened when I first got out. There was this guy, and like when I got out, Mikey, I was on edge, man. Like you know, like people had moved next to me, and I'd be like that, and I was walking down my road where I
saw the door went a minute, and you. I'm like, oh, chill out, bruv. Don't worry. I got it. Don't worry.
DSP's coming in.
The door's locked. Chill out.
No, but so there was this guy in the car, and I seen movement, and the car was just parked, and I went like that. Anyway, I got round the corner and that, and he pulled up, and he's like, "What are you looking in my car, on my road?" And I was like, "Excuse me." And I just carried on walking, He's pulled the car in, nearly took my legs out. I don't know what he was going through that day, whatever, His missus might have been giving him problems, whatever. And he's like, listen, you bacon cunt. And I thought, this guy don't even know I'm Muslim, and you're calling me a bacon cunt. Yeah. But he was like, I'll jump out the car, do this. And I actually stood there, and I was like, oh, whatever, And I walked off, but I was fuming. I was so livid, because I was thinking, who are you talking to? Like, I was angry, But that showed me how far I had come.
But you know they're all tests.
Yeah, of course,
and
of course. But
all...
you know now I see the guy, and I look, and I think, obviously, like I just think, you're not stopping the car or whatever. Like, what was you going through that day? Like, now without alcohol, I see people a lot more like, why do they behave like that? Like, people say, oh, how can you be around that person? They drink, they do this. I don't care. It is not me.
You know what it is? I've been out with loads of people, and they sat at the table, they're like, yo, do you mind if you drink?
Drink, man.
You know when they ask me, it actually pisses me off.
Yeah.
I'm pardon, it's your life.
Yeah, drink.
I said, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
I'm not in control.
Crack on, it's your life. I'm not getting judged on your shit, though.
Yeah.
Don't offer me nothing. You do your thing. Yeah. I'm not involved. Well, listen, on a real, it has been a pleasure having you on my show.
Thank you.
Any bit of advice you want to give to the younger generation before we wrap up?
Do you know what? Just don't be like, if you don't want to do something, like, it don't make you a coward. It don't make you gotta think, if you're sat in jail with your friend and you did not do something, or you just wanted to back the thing to make yourself look good, like, you know how dumb you are. Like, seriously. And I just feel like now I wish there was someone giving me advice on how I should have been, because it was like, don't do this, don't do that. No, you look stupid. You need to tell the next generation why not to do that. You can't just say don't do it, because they're gonna go and do it. But yeah, I just think, just be yourself, man. Like if you want something, go and get it. Set up a TikTok, social media. You can make money.
Just do.
Yeah.
I just
Do
give
something for
advice. Do
yourself.
something, man. There's so much money or more money online. But listen, that's for
yeah.
part 2. We can get into that. We can have our debate as well. Maybe I'll bring you back for a debate show.
Oh, I love that, because I love a debate. And do you know what? I used to have so many debates. Do you like Donald Trump?
Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. If you want part 2 and you're down for a debate, make sure you hit the like button. It helps massively. Let us know you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.